Hello, Gunner James 105. I'm in the laundry room slash furnace room slash hobby room where I can do the cleaning and the model making or whatever else. Kind of got a spot here for my books and things like that. And so today I am going to talk about the P38, Walther P38. Now, I'm not going to talk about it in general or its entire history or anything else like that. I'm going to talk about this and as much as I know about this and give some close-ups. So this one was purchased along with quite a few other firearms from an older fellow that my son-in-law came to meet. And so the thing with this is the price was pretty incredible. He had two of them, and so he was willing to let one go, and we had to choose between this one and another one. Which, did I make the right decision? Not 100% sure, but hopefully in time he may part with the other one. The holster for this, the original holster for this, that it was sitting in when we had a look at it, we said, how much for the holster? And he said, $80. And if you check on the holster for one of these, they're $350, $400 depending on the condition. But anyways, we said, yeah, $80. And then within a second or two, he said, yeah, I think I'm going to keep that for my other one, which was a Walther AC. And I'm not sure the year. It could have been a 43 or 44, but it was a AC marked and had the black grips. This one, I think part of the why I thought this one was the fact, I mean, not only is it in beautiful condition and the numbers are all matching, is that it had these kind of reddish brown grips, and the other one had black grips. So this one just kind of stood out. And it may be that one he has is, I believe the AC ones go for more money anyways, not a lot more, but more. And so this particular one is what I'm looking at, and I've got a P1 that I'll kind of do some comparisons with on the table. So I'm going to lay this out and show you some close-ups. This particular one is the Mauser made, so it's got the BYF. Maybe I'll lay that out and show you, or I will. And it was made in 1943. Now, they started, of course, at the Walther factory to produce these. That's Carl Walther came up with this design, this final design, and I believe they started the mass production at Walther in 1940. But they soon found that they were not getting enough of them built and needed another factory or two, which brought about Mauser, and then Spreework, which was in Czechoslovakia. This was in, I believe, yes, Oberndorf is where the Mauser factory was. And so they started up in 42 at the Mauser factory. They had quit by the end of 42. They quit making the Luger P08 Luger, and so they made about 700 of these in 42. In 43, things really got moving, and they made 144,300 of these or so, and then 150,000 the next year in 44, carried on into 45 with early move to changing from the BYF to SVW. And then I believe the French, when they took over that factory and its workings, were still building these with that same SVW marking on it. So there's plenty of videos on these that go from the earliest designs and experimental models, or the evolution of these There's those out there that have one from each factory, same year and same look, you know. So there's videos that will give you, and information all over the place, books, internet, that'll give you a lot of information on these. So my interest here in this video is to show you this gun and give you some close-ups and a little comparison with the P1. So hang tight. Okay, so we'll just take a look at the left side of the handgun, which, by the way, when I'm at the range, and this one I haven't shot, I've shot the P1, but if I've got someone to my left, it's not the best way. I've got to get that person on my right so that I'm not hitting them with the casings, because they fly out to the left, unlike most other handguns. So the newer, I think it was, I'm not sure when they switched over, but it was later that they went to, this is a Bakelite, they would call it. It is the type of plastic, but Bakelite, kind of a reddish brown. And they went to a black plastic. And so this one here, that serial number with that letter F, it's a very stylized written F. It shows that this was made in June of 1943. And the exact numbers per month I'm not aware of, or can't really find, but here you can see those markings. And so in many places you've got your Waffen amps that are the WA, or just simply 135 with the little eagle above it. But everything, including the pieces inside, have the same serial number, so it's all matching. I know that the adjustment on the sights for windage, you can move that left or right. You have to just knock it over, and there is a little plus sign on that side, and you may see a little mark, a little line, so it's pretty much centered on this particular one. But it's in absolutely beautiful condition. There really isn't a lot of what you call holster wear marks. And here are some more marks on this particular handgun. So it's very simple to take apart. This one, the bore is absolutely beautiful. So one has to wonder if this thing was ever really used or even carried around much in a holster because of its condition. The magazine, they didn't serial number any of their magazines, but you know it's correct to this gun because of the 135 with the eagle over top. And then on the bottom we've got P38. So anyways, whoops, the gun itself had a lot of, some would consider this one of the best, if not the best handgun of World War II. But a lot of things that carried over to guns of the future, in particular the M9 or 92 Beretta series, and a lot of the features, you know, with the decocker. And so if I were to cock that, sorry, you can take it off safe and cock it, I can do so, and you know that hammer's not coming down on the firing pin because it moves out of the way with that. But yeah, that was one of the features. So here now, as I'll show you the P1 in a moment, that's the loaded chamber indicator. And I've got a snap cap in there right now, which is why that's pushed out like that. So there is a snap cap in that chamber. But your P1 example seems to be a little longer, and you can see that parkerized finish on the P1. So these, after the war, of course, they weren't making them anymore in Germany, and they went, now this isn't a video about the P1, but just to show you what they went to. The grips are a little different design. You can see that checkering and across the back in comparison. So the grips are different, and the frame is aluminum as opposed to steel. They did have to put a reinforcing bolt later on. They discovered that there was too much wear on that breech block, so they put a metal piece in there because rubbing on that aluminum would wear it down. And so this one here, they did come out later as well with a fatter slide on there. So one shouldn't really fire anything more powerful than a 124 grain out of these. It's not recommended. And so that's this one. But this one here, they started in '59 in Germany producing these. I'm trying to get that, I can get that. It's very faint, but there are proof marks. But this one is also made in June of 1964. So in '57, actually, they started again. '59, they went to this style with the designation, I think, of P1, because they were still calling them a P38. So a P1 came about in 1963, I think late '63. So this would be a very early P1, and its magazine indicates P1 there as well. And I had, just quickly, I'll show you the holster again. This is what I have instead of the other that was almost there for $80. And this is the reproduction that I was showing in my other video with the reproduction belt. So this would be the proper holster for the P38 World War II. And they've even, I don't think I featured that on the, but it's got these markings on it to simulate. You can't really see it under there, but the P1 holster is similar but different. You know, it's got the latch going this way, and so the rivets across the top. Still have your spare mag over there. A little different design inside there. So this is a P1 holster, and it's actually dated June again, the previous year, 1963. So June is popping up here quite a bit. And just one last thing, the fact that, as I said, this I can legally own, no problem at all. A real one of these, this being a BB gun, I cannot. Our laws say I can't have that because the barrel is too short. So, and it's only short by, I think it's 1/4 of an inch. So a real Luger like so, I can't own. It's prohibited, and I don't have that class of license. So that's the shame. But anyways, as I say, fairly beautiful condition. And as I say, this is the story on this handgun. This is the close-ups of this handgun. And so, hope you enjoyed the video. And thanks for watching.